Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for. Welcome to another episode of the Council of Six, a weekly Dungeons & Dragons campaign fraught with all the drama and peril that will take your breath and steal your mind. My name is Jay Longaro, your DM for the night, and on this campaign we will be using Tyranny of Dragons, which tells an epic story across two adventures of which Hoard the Dragon Queen is the first. Unlike our other streams, we won't be commenting on your comments while we are in play as to remain immersed in the story, but please still engage and comment as we go along. During the breaks, we will go through the comments and interact with you all, because at the end of the day, we are presenting this for your enjoyment. But without any further ado, are you ready to leave all that's real behind? Because there's something breaking at the brick of every wall that's holding all that you know. So tell me, do you want to go to the Council of Six? Here, I'll give you an example. Fleur basically knows 100 different things you can do with a pen, but doesn't know how to open a pen cap. That's basically what low intelligence, high wisdom is.
Yes. So intelligence is book smarts, wisdom is street smarts.
Yeah, I think the tomato example is the best example.
Yeah.
Intelligence is knowing that tomato is a fruit, and wisdom is knowing you can't put a tomato in a fruit salad.
Right.
Wait, you can't? Why not?
In a fruit salad? You want tomato mixed with your
salsa.
grapes and pineapple and...
It's a fruit.
No, you make a
It's sweet
tomato.
and yummy.
You make a tomato-based fruit salad called salsa.
No. You keep it all chunky and you eat it.
Not with
I mean,
grapes.
like
If I have a tomato and a grape in my mouth, I will gag.
I am
And
not
we
vibing,
are
I
live.
am not vibing with this.
Jesus Junkies is here. Hype.
Salty
Oh,
and
Jesus Junkies.
Savior. How do you do it?
Welcome to another episode of
Salty
Council
and
6. Hoard the Dragon Queen.
Savior.
Everyone's here tonight. And we're hopefully going to have some fun.
We
So last
already
episode,
are.
you guys
Okay.
were in a... Hey, ADHD children,
All
listen,
right.
pay attention.
All right.
So...
Tomatoes are fruits. Damn it. Tomatoes are fruits. Agree or disagree?
last
They
time,
are
Comment.
fruits, but that doesn't mean they.
There's not to agree or disagree. They are fruit. They're classified as fruit.
Yes,
However,
so it goes
they're
in a
not
fruit
used
salad.
as fruits are typically used as. They
No,
different-
It
tomatoes
goes
in
in
a
a
regular.
fruit salad. It's
Tomatoes
a fruit.
only go in a regular salad.
Hey,
End of
Linda.
Yeah,
discussion.
and a coffee bean is not a bean. It's a berry. But listen,
Hey,
it
Linda.
doesn't matter.
You're
Is
not
it a
on
berry?
Twitch.
I didn't know it was a berry.
I'm not on Twitch.
Coffee's a berry?
No.
I hit... Oh, it didn't hit start. There we go. Now it's on Twitch. I thought I hit start, but it didn't go.
Nope.
Oopsies.
All right.
They all missed
yeah,
that.
sure.
You missed.
Yeah, I gotta hit two
tomato.
buttons. One for YouTube, one for Twitch. I thought I hit the Twitch one, but apparently it didn't go through.
No. You're welcome.
But thank you. But last time, Console 6. Hoard the
Mommy
Dragon Queen.
Stevie saves the day.
All
As
the
always.
companions were part of the caravan. They had left Baldur's Gate, headed north. A few shenanigans happened. Mal got thrown into the back of a wagon, knocked it over, and a bunch of stuff fell out. And they he saw some stuff that was there, but he did get some information. He found out where the caravan is at least headed to, where one of the stops at least it has to make. They also discovered that the cult is willing to kill anyone that finds out what's going on, and they saw the fruits of this when a very tall man who was looking at what happened over there, Thanik, found dead the next morning, apparently poisoned.
Probably should
And
have said
this was on
something
the
about
second
that.
day of the caravan. So that's where we left off. I'm going to say, so the caravan basically moves it does the whole 6 days and then 1 day rest deal to rest the animals and everything like that. So after that second day, you guys travel another 4 days. So after the 6 days, you make it about 90 miles total. And oh, I didn't put the share screen on. I just realized.
I'm not even in Astral.
Yeah, it's just a map.
I
It's
mean,
not that big of a
yeah.
deal.
Well, it just kind of shows your position. I mean, this
I mean-
this one you're gonna need a map though, actually today. So, but let me actually get the map going. So
Are
the
we
stream
gonna
can see
fight
it.
today?
Well, we're going through the what is it? The plains of the,
The
dead. or
meter of
whatever.
the dead. Oh yeah,
Well,
the plains.
Yeah, you're gonna go through there eventually.
Well, I think
Field-
when we
Field
ended
of the
last
Dead.
session, when we ended
Tiny
last
is
session,
still
I think
very
we just,
tiny.
we just arrived in Fields of the Dead.
No. If you look at the map, it shows you where you're at. You're not there yet. Fields of Dead is about another 40, 50 miles away from where you guys are at. You guys are about 90 miles in. And the Field of Dead's are a little further up north.
Oh, so it doesn't start until like the actual text of the Fields of the Dead.
Right. Like
It's actually only
the big words are there,
but
but you know how maps
a
are with big
rectangle
words.
field.
You guys are about I would say about 50 miles away from being in the heart of the Fields of the Dead. So you're stopped shortly just before it. So 6 days of travel, you guys been doing it. So if anyone used anything, click all your long rests. It's been another 4 more days. So
I don't remember, so I'll just long rest.
Well, it's been 4 days since the events of the last episode, basically at this point. So you've had plenty of time for many long rests. So you should be all fully.
I don't
done.
remember if I used anything, so I'm gonna do it.
Right. And if you want to change up spells, if you can change up spells, you can do that now too as well. So blah blah blah. But either way,
Let me get right on.
so
that.
you guys have been traveling for 6 days. In those 6 days, you've traveled about 90 miles north of Baldur's Gate. And you're this is the 7th day now of rest, where all the animals get rested. It's pretty much an off day. The whole caravan just stops here and chills, basically. And while I get this map up, I'll let you guys go with whatever you're doing. So it's the morning of, I would say it's like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. It's not super early of that 7th day of rest, and you guys can do what you want at the moment here while I get this.
In those 4-ish more days of traveling, Stevie would be trying to slowly coax Tiny out of Flora's pocket.
Oh no, Tiny's been in your
In my hood?
yeah.
Oh,
Tiny
okay.
latched
So-
onto you after that, and she's in your hood now.
Okay. So I mean, she wouldn't care about that because at least she can like see things, and so she's just been trying to like chat with Tiny, get her to open up a little bit more, while still keeping an eye on Flora and like including Flora in that that whole thing.
If I remember correctly, the last action I did in the session before was get a pet squirrel. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
have a
she's
pet squirrel
been
now.
just spending all of her time becoming more and more friends with the squirrel. Yeah, and also just kind of chilling with Mickey, chilling with Tiny.
Stevie.
Talking about, I don't know, life. Y'all seen with Stevie. Get a different name.
Mommy,
Everyone
Stevie!
has made this mistake.
And then just kind of like, you say it, and like at night, maybe she was like, you see that constellation? It does that, because that's all she knows.
One thing Mal would have done as soon as we get to the rest day, because Mal's a selfish bastard at the same time, he would seek out Fleur and be like, hey, Fleur,
What?
you know how when we fight, you get hurt a lot?
Yeah.
Wear this next time. And I'm going to hand her the Amulet of Health.
Wait. Okay. Question.
Okay.
You preface that with Mal is a selfish bastard.
Yeah, because I'm keeping it until I feel like I don't need it anymore. So we're on day 7, by the way.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Mal's not handing that shit off until he knows that poison hasn't done its thing for a while.
Fair enough. Okay. That
I
I
don't have
was uncertain of
Amulet
the.
of Health.
Yeah, it's an Amulet of Health. It's an attunement slot. That
My
works.
2 spots.
So now you maybe won't die all the time.
Maybe.
And I imagine the entire 4 days leading up to the rest day, I've just been like trying not to kill Mal.
Yeah, Mal's throwing rocks at him every hour on the dot.
Oh, I'm gonna die a little less now.
Yes, a little less.
I went from
And
27
there
to
is still
39.
nothing has been discovered of who killed the tall man. I forgot his name. The big dude. I know it meant something about he's like tall as a pole or something is what his name translates.
Oh yeah, I guess to be fair, I would have been checking in with the and I can't remember his name, the captain of the guard.
Sulzdeg the Pole. That was his name.
Sulzdeg the Pole.
His name means tall as a lodge pole. He was 7.5 feet tall. But yeah, no discovery has been made. I mean, Thanik and you guys obviously have your suspicions, but as far as the caravan's concerned, nothing's happened since then, but no headway's been made.
Just in case the audience forgot, who was the tall man?
Oh yes. For the audience, just the cart just ahead of Thanik and Mal's had this guard who was a very tall man, 7.5 feet tall. And when the cart that Mal got thrown in with the dragon cult, where he knocked the cart over and all the
my body
fell
was
out
used
with
as a tool to knock the cart over.
Yes, where a chest fell out, a crate fell out apparently with jewels and stuff that no one saw except for Mal. This tall man was kind of inspecting because a hubbub kind of happened there because everyone went to try to help him to get the caravan moving, and he was kind of looking to see what was happening, and they saw him looking. And just before that, Mal heard them say, "If anyone tries to, snoop at what we have here, we need to get rid of him." And the next morning, Thanik discovered this very tall man dead in the brush, apparently poisoned by nightshade.
Didn't Mal pee on him as well? Like that was a thing.
He was he peed on whatever Thanik threw in the bush because they
they
heard something rustling in the bush.
Oh, I didn't even make that connection until now. I might have been able to help
and Thanik threw a unlit torch into it to see if anything happened. Nothing happened.
Yeah, so here's the guy just choking on his own vomit from this nightshade poison, and I'm throwing sticks at him and Mal's pissing on him. That's
actually no. There was two different
great.
things. You were looking at that, and behind you in some other brush, you heard a noise. You heard the brush moving, and when you looked, you didn't see anything. So you threw something to see what was there, and it was when you and Mel were talking about the
mirror.
But that was
discovered.
Was that the same bushes that?
There's two different bushes, two different things.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, so I was.
So the tall man is dead and not a dangerous enemy we're gonna fight.
No. He was just a guard of one of the caravan carriages that was just ahead of Thanik's and Mel's.
I think for the audience members that are confused, that was strictly in last episode. So any players that maybe missed last episode would not be aware of the tall man.
Yeah, I know. Bryce is gone all the time.
Yeah, Niet, not here.
Sulzdeg the Pole.
Sulzdeg. It's a good name.
Sulzdeg dead as a pole now.
Yeah.
All right, so it's rest day then.
What's the name of the guy that Sulzdeg was
Philobar.
Hired
the
by?
old man.
What?
Philobar. It was
Philobar.
an old man, the old man that Thanik went to talk to. And then Thanik went and talked to Steven, who's like head of security for the entire caravan, and they had a meeting.
Steven, not Stevie.
Yes. No, Steven. Yes.
Oh God, this gig.
Steven. And I'll say it's written with the PH for the Steven PH. Not the
Yeah,
Oh, Stefan. Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing
Stefan.
wrong with the name. It's just that he doesn't
Steven.
also go by Brennan.
Stefan.
Brennan. Stefan.
So yeah, rest day.
In
For the
case
rest day,
anyone,
Mel does not throw a single rock at Thanik.
And so we rest on the Sabbath?
I kind of want to do something stupid.
do it.
It's literally why you're here.
And now you have health to do it.
I don't know if I would have done this earlier, but we're just gonna pretend that I'm doing it now because I don't know. I was zoned out for 7 days or something. It happens. But I kind of want to turn into. I'll do a mouse. I'll turn into a mouse. And I want to go and check out Fancy Man.
Fancy
his
Man.
palimpsest.
Which one is Fancy Man?
In the palimpsest. Is that what it's called? I
Oh,
want to check
they
him
wrote
out.
off.
Oh,
They already-
no,
did
no,
they?
no, no. You missed that too. In the very first day, Rezmir took off with 8 guards
What's
Like on horses
and went ahead of the caravan.
Also, isn't Resmir a chick?
Yes, Rezmir is a chick.
And she is fine at that too.
Black Dragonborn, sure. If you're into that.
Fucking bard.
I'm playing a Bard of Eloquence. What do you expect?
Unfortunate. Well, I'm gonna go check out the Colts cards anyway, as a mouse.
Yeah.
I'm just going, what's happening here?
All right, so you go up, and no one notices. You see, I think I told you guys there was about 12, right? 12 is what we saw left, guards left around the carriages for the Colts caravan.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like, what, it was like 2 or 3, no, 5 carriages actually Rezmir purchased. 5, I keep saying carriages. Wagons, what are they called? I guess.
Carts.
Carts?
Carts feel small. Covered
Well,
wagon.
I think wagon, probably.
Yeah.
Trailer.
Yeah. You go snooping around. You see there's 12 of the cultists, but they're more subdued. They're not dressed as cultists like they were before. They're more trying to be dressed like just like the everyman kind of deal, being part of this merchant thing, to be a little more undercover than normal.
Is it like just like normal guys, or is it like the cleric guys?
Yeah, no, this looks like just normal cultist. Doesn't look like anyone.
Okay.
Yeah. No one high ranking, no one of extreme power. Mostly just cultists is what you see.
And all the knot guards are armed as well, right? Like, it's not just that there's 12 dudes. There's a group of people all armed, but there's only like 12.
Their
guards.
cultists are all armed. I mean, I wouldn't say they're walking openly like knights or like, soldiers armed, but they obviously have their daggers and stuff, or swords, in their clothing and stuff like that. But yeah, they are. I would say they're all, at least to you guys, noticeably armed.
Gotcha.
Okay. Can I like try to sneak into one of the wagons?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into like the first one of 5.
Yeah, and you go into that one. The first one you notice is full of crates, and it's like mostly food. You see a bunch of fruits, some dried preserved meats and stuff like that. So it looks like their food cart for their travels north.
Okay, kind of boring. Next.
Next cart, you see a bunch of barrels.
Ooh.
And you see
Is there any-
anything on the side of them. Some of them say water. Some of them say wine.
Ooh. If I wasn't a mouse, I'd steal the wine one. I'm just gonna go through it. Cart number 3.
Cart number 3. Cart number 3, you see there's a bunch of crates, but they're all closed up. They're all nailed shut.
Can my little mousy eyes see like in between the cracks of crate?
They're wooden crates, so they're not like slatted, so you wouldn't be able to see inside of them. There's no openings or gaps, I would say, to see inside. But if your little mousy self, feel free to do a perception check of the crates to see if you notice anything.
I will attempt a perception check. That's gonna be a 13.
Hey, you know what? We are not back on our bullshit from the last time you were here rolling
not yet.
strictly 1s and 2s. I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it.
Okay, 13. And do mousies have night vision and stuff, by the way? I think they do, don't they?
That's a great question.
Yeah, they're nocturnal animals, so yeah, they would have night vision.
You
They
would
should,
think D&D does
but
not
it
always
won't.
make that 1-to-1 comparison.
I got dark vision of 30 feet.
Yeah. Well, you're a little mouse in a crate. I think you're more than enough. I think the 2 feet for you inside is fine. Yeah. So you do look around the crates, and most of them are all sealed up, but you do find one that has like a little like one of those little crack holes at the bottom. It's like kind of opening enough for a mouse to weasel on into that little crack.
Yeah, I'm gonna
so
squeeze in there.
So you slide in there, and you could already tell that there's a lot of metal in there, and you realize that this is kind of an armory box. At least this box is, where there's weapons stored to be taken north.
Is there something small?
The one you went in seems to be mostly filled with short swords. So
Could
not
not
small.
fit those back through the hole.
No. No.
Okay. I'll leave it and go to the fourth one, but I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, fourth one also has a bunch of crates that are also nailed shut.
Any of them got a mousy hole?
Perception check.
Let's play a game. Will it be better or worse? You think with a +5 it'd be better? Significantly! 24!
Nice
24. There's there's no cracks in any of them, but one of them isn't nailed completely shut. It seems like overflowing, and it kind of closes as much as they could. And sticking out of it, you do see glints of gold and gems that are kind of sticking out of the crate. And with that, I would say that you even recognize some of the items having the seal of Greenest. So it looks like some of these items were the stuff that they stole from Greenest from your beginning of your adventure.
Can I take it out? Can I take something out?
I mean, can a mouse
Is it big enough to go?
do sleight of hand? I don't know if a mouse can. Sleight of teeth?
If it's a ring, they can wear it as a necklace. If it's a ring, they can wear it as a necklace.
I mean, I'm just going for like the tiniest, shiniest thing. I can just go.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it would be a sleight of hand to see if she's dexterous enough to like slide one of those rings on or whatever.
I will not deny that. Do I keep my skills as?
You would use your dexterity as a mouse.
Yeah, but do I keep my sleight of hand proficiency?
You do not.
Lame.
No, you got all the stats. You got to use the mouse stats.
Unless it's an intelligence based, like a mental stat.
Yeah, I was just curious if I kept my skill proficiency or not. What is that? That's a 14. That's pretty good for a straight roll.
It's not bad for a mouse roll. Yeah,
11 dexterity.
I'll say you scurry through there and you see a lot of stuff is pretty big. Like platters and candelabras and stuff like that. But you do see a ring. Since Mel gave me the idea, you see a ring sitting down there, and you're able to like squeeze your snout into it, but it's too small to get around your neck, so it's literally just around your snout like a muzzle. And it's just a plain gold ring, no jewels on it. So now you have a gold ring around your mousy snout.
I'm gonna take it and run.
Will they kill a mouse for a ring? We'll find out.
So as far as taking it and run, are you running back to everybody else?
I'm gonna do like a round, so they don't see me running direct. If they see me, they don't see me running immediately back.
Yeah,
to
they're not
my
looking for
wagon.
mice, so I can guarantee you they're not seeing you.
Cool, I'll just run back then.
So yeah.
That's their fault for not looking for a mouse. Honestly.
So,
Yeah,
we
they
run back.
were
So I'm
just
assuming
totally
this is the
asking
day
to
of
be
rest.
robbed.
I'm assuming since you guys are, all of you are together instead of staying with your wagons, since it's kind of the rest day, everyone's kind of like in that sunny survival.
Yeah, provided that Tommen was cool with that. But I think we've been gathering around Tommen's anyway.
Yeah, Tommen's cool. Sylvia is a slave driver.
Yeah.
So we should probably gather around Sylvie's rather than Tommen's.
No, Tommen's a cool guy. He'll come hang around here. He'll let us do whatever we want, man.
He's the chill. He doesn't care.
Right, but Sylvie probably wouldn't want us to leave the general area.
But I would say after Fleur comes back with her ring, you guys are kind of chilling. It's mid-morning, 10:30, 11 o'clock, so I would say. And it's a beautiful sunny afternoon. And just to the east of where you guys are camped there, off the trail, a herd of deer is spotted grazing on a nearby hill.
Oh dear.
A lot of the travelers take these kind of opportunities, especially on the days off, to hunt for like fresh meat for the larder. And so a lot of them are a lot of people that are gathered from where they're kind of looking and they see it. However, this herd includes a magnificent stag that shimmers in the light as if its coat was spun of gold and its antlers plated with platinum. So nearly everyone in the caravan that can handle a bow wants to bring that beast down. They're all like, "Oh my God, look at that! Look at that!" And they're all looking at it. And
What does
like?
can I do some sort of nature check or something? Cause like that seems a little like magical or like not.
Yeah. Can I also attempt?
Right, like that doesn't seem like within the realms of like what would normally happen for deer.
Yeah. So what do you want to do? Are you looking to do an Arcana check, or I mean, because
Nature more
check,
like how is this different than a normal deer?
I mean, I would say
Is this
a
different
nature
than a
check.
normal deer?
I would think a nature check would just tell you if or not this deer is different than the average deer, other than what you can tell by your eyes.
Can I make
You know
a
what?
history roll to feel like if I've ever heard of a shining deer before?
Matt will try
Arcana?
Arcana check. Matt will,
Yeah, I'm not great at Arcana.
you see, Matt will try Arcana because it's not horrible.
I suck
See
at
if it's
both of them,
magical.
so I don't care.
I mean, yeah. If you want to do a history check, Fleur, you can go ahead, and if Mal want to do Arcana, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna do the nature just
It's the
'cause
same roll
yeah.
for either, so.
Nat 20, by the way.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, hey, that's
Is
a
that
nice
deer
rating.
magical?
So 23.
15 minus 1.
So Stevie, outside of the obvious by looking at it how beautiful it is, everyone else looks at it and just thinks that it's just a magnificent stag. It's just like it's just like masters of genetics kind of stag, like once in a lifetime kind of stag. Stevie looks at it and says, it's still a stag, but there's something different about this one. It's not just a beautiful stag. It's
Right.
out of place.
It's not
This
just
is what
good
that would-
genetics.
Right. Fleur's history check. You do remember throughout lore plenty of magical, blessed, different stags that it's throughout history that have. It's a very common thing. However, this one in particular didn't raise any specifics in your knowledge of lore. Mal, as far as your arcana check, yeah, there's definitely a glow around this stag. It's not something normal as far as stags are concerned. In the meantime, while you guys are doing all this and making you look, you hear all the shears, shouts and stuff behind you. People are getting their bows, they're getting ready to go.
Stevie is gonna go charge at this stag to try and make them scatter.
I was gonna turn into a deer and also walk towards them.
Let me finish my sentence. So, you see a bunch of the people starting getting ready to go. They're all like, let's go get these deer. And you see some of the more religious types, because there are some in this caravan that are like clerics and of holy temples. And one steps forward and he's like, this is obviously a blessed being. And killing it would bring bad luck on the caravan. You guys must not chase this deer. Meanwhile, you see someone who's like, nah, we're getting them deer, especially that deer. And they start making their way towards the hill as they kind of start to scatter. And you see that they all start to run into that cusp of trees, that forest that's just east of you guys where you're at. And they all scatter that way. My question was, what are you going to do? I'm already assuming everyone's saying we are running towards this deer into the forest. Is that what is happening?
Not only am I running towards, but I'm also turning into a deer
Right. Just my goal.
to make the deer trust me more.
My goal was to get them to scatter, to ruin their the other people's. aim.
Right. As soon as the commotion started, you know, deer are very skittish. As soon as the commotion started, they scattered and they ran into. So the deer and the stag all had a head start on everyone and ran to the trees as everyone.
So
started to
then
run.
Stevie's gonna add some zigs and zags to mess up their sightlines.
To mess up the deer sightlines or the people chasing them.
The people chasing them.
Oh, gotcha.
So if they're trying to aim, Stevie's gonna get in the way.
Gotcha.
One thing
But
Mal
yeah,
would like
so everyone's
to do,
going down with. It's everyone's heading. They're heading into that cusp. Stevie's doing zigzag for distraction. Fleur turned into a deer. I'm assuming both of you are going into the trees, the forest, after them. Thanik, Mel, Tiny, what are you guys doing?
Tiny,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Tiny kind of wants to get on that golden deer. So she's going to get out of her tiny thing and go into her foal and do fairy flight and try to ride the deer.
Well, the deer was on a hill ahead of you guys. I would say it was about a good 100 feet, 150 feet away from on the hill away from the camp. So when everyone saw it, they started to go after it. So it was a good distance away, and it has a head start on everyone as it goes into the forest. So it wasn't right next to you guys. Right now, everyone's on this chase to go them. So basically, what happened is all the deer and that stag disappeared in the forest, and everyone now is making their way towards the forest to follow them.
Okay, Tiny's going to take to the sky and try to find the deer.
Okay.
The one clarification that I have is that I am not running after the deer. I am running after Fleur and Stevie, who up and bolted, and I don't know why. And I'm just like, it's still breakfast. Why are we running after? Jesus Christ!
Something Mal's going to do before he joins this adventure, knowing that it's magical and that they bolted into the woods. Is there some sort of roll I can see if this is an illusion? Something that, because Mal likes illusions and stuff.
Well, I mean, when you rolled your Arcana check, you noticed that the deer was glowing and it was magical, so it was solid and it was magical.
Okay.
So I would say with that Arcana check, you knew that it wasn't an illusion, that it was.
Okay, so it's not an illusion; it's actually something magical. And is there any sort of insight?
There's something magical about it or around it,
Okay.
But it's not an illusion.
Okay, so it's real. I don't trust it, so Mal's gonna follow up on the rear.
Stevie's not actually going into the forest. She's gonna stop before, she's gonna run toward where the same direction the deer are going towards the woods, but is going to stop before she gets there, and turn around and kind of square up with the other people chasing, and thaumaturgy the ground to shake again.
Okay. If you see the map that I just put up, basically where you're at right now is where it's entering into the forest. So where you're standing is that opening right before you go into the trees.
Yeah. Give me a second. Half of it is not showing.
Well, yeah, it's because I have the fog of war on.
Oh, thanks.
So you only see a little bit ahead of you.
No, but that's more than fog of war. Or is that is the edge of the map? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the that's the edge of the map. Like where Fleur is, that's where the map. Yeah, it ends there, right behind Fleur.
So yeah, Steve is squaring up there, facing the direction that everybody else is coming from, and thaumaturgy, the ground shaking, in that direction, to kind of distract them somewhat.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say a few of the hunters made it in ahead of you, but not many. You guys being the skilled adventurers that you are, and having flight and being a deer and being a centaur and being a giant scared for everybody, and Mel maybe hanging on to the giant's shins, made it there ahead of most of them. And I'll say that thaumaturgy kind of made the rest of everyone kind of stop before they entered. They weren't sure what was happening. So other than like the 1 or 2 hunters that kind of went into the forest before you guys, Tiny always likes to Marie always likes to like really fly up ahead. Slow down. Get back there. Stop trying to open up the map. But yeah, so you guys got in there first. Your thaumaturgy scared most everyone away. At this point, you are here and you see some tracks. So what I would say is we could do if someone wants to do a survival check to follow the tracks, and you can see what you're following here.
Question.
Yes, Fleur.
What's your speed, Stevie?
40.
Oh wait, no, you stopped.
I stopped.
You stopped.
I
Anyway,
stopped
as a
and
deer, apparently deer have a speed of 50, which I did not know. So I'm significantly faster than most, if not all, of these hunters. Which is
And as far
good
as
to know.
navigating this, what we're going to do is because you guys are going to have to do some checks. So it's you're only going to be able to move 100 feet, and then where you have to stop. So if everyone moves tokens, 100 feet is the furthest you can move in whichever direction you're going.
Cool. I'll attempt survival or perception.
I got.
Follow.
So since I'm in the sky, I got a natural 20, so it's 23.
Survival?
And I did, yes. And I did not stop with everybody else. I kept flying, trying to find that golden deer, because that's all Tiny is completely focused on.
Yeah.
And with the fairy flight, she gets the first 60 almost instantaneous.
Okie dokie. Let me see something here.
Mal's just sticking to Thanic the whole time
I
while
just
he's in
didn't
here.
stop. I just kept going. Is there a chance for me to make a perception check to follow them, or does it have to be survival?
I mean, where you saw tracks on the ground, so that's what the survival for is to follow, just to see the tracks and see.
Can I
what
see
they
if
are
I
and where they're
see
going.
they're moving? In the
Or
distance?
could she even just see me and follow me? Since
Or
I got
that.
a nat 20.
Well, again, your survival check is to see the tracks.
I,
Can I?
Moment. Okay, so the white line. All your wonderful survival checks that y'all did, especially, we'll say Tiny at the highest one, so we'll let her be the first one to see it. You do see the deer prints and one larger set, which looks like it's a stag, and it follows this white line in that direction. So that's what you see, Tiny.
And you said 100 feet at a time.
Yeah, basically where that line ends is where you guys have to stop.
okay.
If you're
Okay.
following that line. If you're going somewhere else, obviously you can go 100 feet a different direction. But
Now here's the question: do I have to
Yes.
follow the tracks, or can I just follow Tiny and proceed?
well, that's what I said.
Tiny?
You can go 100 feet whatever direction you want. If you're following the tracks, you stop at the end of that line. If you're going anywhere else, you can go somewhere else. But 100 feet is the most you can move.
I'm just gonna follow Tiny.
Okay.
I don't have good survival.
Mal was just holding on to Thanic's shins.
Oh, we gathered that.
As you get deeper into this forest, you start to feel a serenity. You do notice that it's not just trees, but it's also ivy draped, and it's kind of sparkling in certain areas around you. I would say Stevie is very at home here as well. It kind of reminds her of her forest sojourn for 100 years or however long she was in.
That's
Tiny.
Can you move my Draken farther so I can bring it with me?
Oh yes.
There you go. I just can't grab it where it is. Where? Oh, there you.
And Flora needs to move her butt.
Oh,
I moved her.
Oh, okay.
I'm like right behind
All right.
Tiny.
Did you guys did you guys want a moment to discuss or talk about anything before?
Nope, Tiny's gonna keep looking.
I want to find these deer as a deer.
Ah, fuck. 7.
Why are we running after large animals? I don't understand.
Survival check.
Survive.
Yes. Yeah. You lost the scent, Tiny. You're like
Yeah.
Ooh,
you got so excited.
22.
Ah, there we go.
All right.
Fleur got
Well,
it.
I need this RP because Tiny figured it out right off the bat,
Nice.
then lost it. Fleur was just chasing Tiny, and now Fleur sees the tracks. So you need y'all to
I'm
RP
just
something.
I'm just reaching up in the air.
I
She's about to
imagine
run
it's
into
like,
Tiny's about to run into a tree. And I just bring her back. Like,
yeah,
nope,
I
this way.
imagine
This
it's
way,
like,
small one.
Danik,
like
we're
I look
following
at
the
her, I'm like,
deer.
yeah, she knows where she's going until she stops.
You look down and you realize that you know where you are going.
Yeah, and then I was like, wait, why did you stop? And then I looked down and went, wait, I know where I'm going.
And now we're following Floor.
Danik, we're following. He left. Give it a second. I was
He did
trying
say
to do
he-
some
That was
RP.
terrible timing.
Damn it.
That was terrible
Oh.
timing. What's up?
Danik, so we're following that herd of deer because the stag was glowing for some reason, not a normal deer. Don't think it would be wise for any of the other people to try and kill that deer. So I'm personally going to try and protect the glowing stag. I don't know why any of them were following, but that's what I was doing.
I just didn't realize that every time we see something shiny, we sprint after it.
Well, I mean, where have you been?
That is also a very fair point.
That's kind of what happened.
I'm just
All
here
right,
so I don't die out there.
I realize
apparently
I've
have to
been
take my
traveling with
pee
these
break
people long
way
enough.
earlier than intermission, so I will be right back. Have some fun with each other while I go do this.
Enjoy
Thank God,
yourself.
I got pissed.
Fucking do your thing.
I guess it's
Also-
pee break.
We can do pee break.
It's a little early for pee break. I mean,
Everyone-
if you guys
no,
want to
they
take it
all
now,
do.
go ahead. But
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah.
sounded like Bryce had to piss, so.
Fuck it. We didn't pause the stream.
The only
so.
thing is the stream isn't on the break screen. And so
You
we all
talking
leave.
about
It's just a
the
little bit
live?
awkward.
You talking about the live stream or the pee stream? That's all right. I can maintain my Thanak voice for a little longer.
Yeah, you see, I think maybe the kids might have ADHD. They just go off after everything shiny.
You ran first.
Yeah, because I was trying to scare the deer off so that the rest of them couldn't hurt them.
But you ran first. You can't just say the kids.
I just want a shiny friend.
You can't talk to your deer.
Shiny friend.
You can't talk
Pretty,
to your
pretty.
deer. You're
Shiny
just over here
friend,
just going.
Pretty.
I don't know what you're saying, but I hear your
I wish I
attitude and
had,
I don't appreciate it.
the beginning of every tangent in every D&D game, shiny. The moment you say shiny, that's
Yep.
it.
You
Yup.
Oh, it has a magical essence? Away!
I heard shiny and I came right back.
Don't tell me they found it without me. Everybody S2. I didn't mean Spanish.
So I will say at this
Listen,
point,
I
as
actually
you get
scooch your
deeper now
characters.
into this, you're following the tracks.
I
still.
did.
You see the tracks have, there's less of the, because before it looked like the herd, all these deers with the big tracks. You're finding there's less and less of the other deer. Like they've kind of gone, they started to kind of like splinter off, but the stags, the larger tracks are still going this direction with like a couple of deer following it, still going in this direction. You also notice as you get in this forest
character.
that hidden in the trees, you see stonework here and there, almost like at one point this could have been a city, perhaps. Maybe there was some kind of ruins, but it's so old that the forest has overtaken it. That to the normal eye, it would just be a forest. But you do notice these little peaks of stone that aren't like natural stone; they look like cut stone or kind of a ruins of old architecture here and there.
Spooky.
Can I do a history check to see if I recognize this? Being a bard?
And being fairly
Sure.
close to Baldur's Gate.
Right. He grew up in Baldur's Gate.
That is a 17, guys.
Woo!
Bard stuff.
I would say you note that the craftsmanship on some of them appear elvish.
Hey guys, this is some Elvish shit.
As opposed to
I'm
"This is face shit.
elvish.
This is face shit.
Dude, as a half elf, before I immediately start looking for tracks again, can I be like, do I know anything happening right now?
I mean, I would say there's some script.
Ooh, can I read it?
Written
Will my
on there?
elvish come in handy?
But yeah, it's basically like a letter here, a letter there, because it's so ruinous you really can't make out anything. You do recognize the characters though as elvish script, but you can't really read what's there because it's so faded and chipped. And it's like I said, it's just little pieces of stuff. It's not like full structures or full writing or anything like that on there.
Does it look like modern font or like old font?
Old.
Is this Comic Sans?
I would say like it's more elvish, but even closer to Sylvan.
I think I know that language too.
And I would say with your
I don't.
survival check, you can still see the big stags, so you keep following the track that way.
Wait.
as it goes.
I know Sylvan too.
What language don't you know?
Fleur asked me.
I'm-
I
I
Is
do
there
not
any-
know
is there
Sylvan.
any
That's
orc
a different
script?
character.
No, that was just me being like, what the hell? Why do I know Sylvan?
You had a lot of time.
yeah. Well,
to study.
Stevie knows apparently like every language.
I don't know Infernal.
One of the
I
few.
know Infernal and Draconic.
I know.
All right. So
I
as you
know.
go further in, again the trees,
I know
the canopy
Celestial,
starts to
that's
get
what they're like.
thicker. So the sunlight's just kind of coming through, and like, how that almost like it's like disco ball lighting. If you're deep into a forest and you can still tell it's light out. It's not dark, but the sun is like filtering through like in little speckles and
Mhm.
stuff as it comes down in there. You feel the vegetation around you. You can feel more of the moisture. It's not foreboding. It's very comfortable. It's forest, but you can just feel that you're getting deeper into this cosmos.
Keep it on going.
Survival check.
Here
I'll
we
do it.
go.
I'll
It's a dirty
take over
20.
the tracking. Or Danik can.
Nope, significantly worse. 10.
Do you want all of us to do it or just one or two?
I mean, preferably one or at least one at a time.
We'll go with Thanik's dirty 20.
Okay. All right. Well, now I need a reason for Thanik to actually care, and he's like following shit now. So Thanik,
I've
you need to roll for
already
something.
had to adjust. I've already had to adjust Tiny once. So at this point, I'm like, clearly nobody has any fucking clue what they're doing. So that's why I'm paying more attention to the survival checks. We're here, we're rolling, and Tiny almost flew into a tree. So
Tiny is her 2.5 foot self right now. She went to her big
yeah,
self.
and I'm 8'6", so you're between the height plus wingspan, wherever it is that you're flying. I can grab a toe.
All right. So Thanik grabs them all and goes, "Wait!" Stop!
Dad
As they're all
does.
kind of trying to run ahead. You grab Fleur by her antlers. As they're all like
Oh dear.
running, so you have to
Stop.
look at the ground, and then this is how I see it happening. So they're all like ADHD, trying to run forward, right? And Thanik stops them all. He stops and he stands in front of them and he kneels down, runs his fingers through your track, takes the dirt, runs it through his fingers, sniffs it, throws it in the air. As he's looking, watching it all, stands, puts his hands on his hip, looks
We
around.
do
like,
this.
you-
We
you're
do
taking,
this calmly and carefully, or we don't do this.
You're
at
taking
all.
an inordinate amount of time on this survival check. as they're all obviously behind you waiting to move. And after all that, you say this way. And you point in that direction.
And the kids all take off.
That way.
Oh shit. Okay, I found it. We're gonna get murdered at the end of this round.
Gonna get murked. All right, so at this point, can I have a perception check from everyone?
Everyone?
I can
That's
keep
right.
it from
Yeah.
everyone.
Good.
Okay.
Damn.
Woo! 21.
Woot woot.
– 17.
Give me a second. I'm still moving on the map.
Perception.
Perception.
13. I'd probably go with my passive is 15, and I got 13, so I'd go with my passive.
14.
Okay, 1 second here. Okay, all you notice, you see more of that architecture ruins, little bigger chunks of stuff laying around. Fleur, you notice that underneath the dirt and vegetation on the trail, because it's all forest where you start to notice peaks of brick, like a golden brick, like there was a road at one point possibly underneath this vegetation. And then you see a marker stone, like an obelisk kind of stone that's leaning off the side into the trees by that log right there where I'm marking it.
Log. Markings, you said?
It's an obelisk. It's a marker stone. There is
Okay.
Sylvan on there.
Oh. Can I half understand it with my knowledge of Elven?
So you don't speak Sylvan. You say you speak Elven, right?
No, I speak Elvish and I speak Celestial.
Okay. So you
Wait.
recognize it being close to Elvish, but you can't read it.
So there's this obelisk here. And Stevie's like, oh, I can read that.
Oh wait.
She can read fucking Sylvan.
You get like the most like looking into the camera during Office, just look at you. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Oh,
Just
God,
like
this
they'll
thing's
look
weird.
off into the camera.
Dear. Where did it go? Shiny.
Wow, my map disappeared completely for the stream. I've got to refresh it now. I see it, but the one I'm sharing for the stream disappeared completely.
That means we're about to fight something.
Shiny.
If this fucking deer is evil, I'm gonna be so mad.
Or we
We're
just
gonna
have to
get
fight
to-
it to prove our worth.
Oh my lord, come on.
Shiny.
I hope I can just be a deer and be like, yo, what up? I'm a deer too.
Speaking deer common.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, so astral going down is causing this, and it just disappeared completely on me again. So yeah, it's being a bitch. So the stream, you guys can't see the map at the moment. Once I can get it up again, I'll pull it back up for you guys in the stream. But it's just being a bitch. But yeah, so Stevie, you do go up at the small obelisk, and you do recognize it's Sylvan, so you recognize that you can read it. I'm assuming you're reading it then, correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so you look at the stone and you see it's Sylvan. You do understand it fully.
but you can tell that it's ancient, like it's old. Most likely before Sylvan evolved into Elvish. That's how old it is. And on it you read, it says, "Welcome to Luminos. Those who do evil, turn back now. Those who do not wish harm, proceed in happiness."
Yo, I want the deer to be my friend. This is gonna be a great time. Let's go. This is an adventure
relays
of love.
that information to the rest of the party, and well, we don't mean any harm, so we should be fine, right?
Adventure of love. Let's go. But all you hear is
Shiny deer! Shiny deer! Let's go find it! Tiny wants to, like, dive into the sky 30 feet to see if she can see anything.
I mean, it's heavily canopied, so if you go up, all you're going to see is the canopy of trees. Yeah.
But she's gonna go as high as she can without being in the canopy.
Well, you don't see anything extra, but Fleur notices with her perception check that brick she saw underneath the vegetation continues, and it seems to be following the tracks of the stag that you guys have been following.
I go this way. I'm just starting booking it again.
In deer common, that translates to.
Well, I moved my head.
I almost can't wait till we use Foundry at this point.
Is it still busting up?
It is so laggy. But like I said, I think it's because since Astral's going out of business and they can't afford to keep it up, I have a feeling they stopped paying for X amount of probably servers.
Yeah.
And that's causing... They probably don't have as much memory on their servers. They're probably not paying for
Well,
as
it's
much of it.
August
So
30th, right?
yeah, it's only
Okay.
a month away.
We still got a month. Come on.
But these issues have been starting long before that. So
Yeah. Oh.
Roll 20 time.
Foundry. Oh, I don't know if you saw Fleur, Sophie. Where I'm gonna be. I got Foundry.
Is that what that is? I didn't know what Foundry was. I was like,
Right. I mean, for you guys, it's not gonna be much different. You just, instead of going to astral.com, it's gonna be going to Forge Council 6 or something like that. I have the link in there. And it's so still browser based, but it's something that I use Forge or Foundry to create, and it's uploaded to the Forge, and it's hosted on the server there. And it's going to be almost like a video game. You're going to have like a little HUD, and it's still the same kind of maps and icons. But yeah, so it's little fun stuff like that. And we're probably going to do use the full virtual tabletop, to where D&D Beyond is just going to be where you create your characters with and reference. But all the dice rolling, all the stuff we'll probably end up doing right through all that Foundry.
Makes sense.
but anyway,
All right.
deer.
Let's go find the deer. Let's go find the deer.
Deer!
That's what I'm
Stag!
doing. So yeah, I'll say I'm not
Shiny!
gonna have you guys do another one. So the tracks continue. Now it's only the stag's tracks. You don't see any of the other deer anymore. It's just these deep stag tracks. And every steps is taken is pushing away to the vegetation. You see more of this golden brick road kind of underneath the vegetation as you guys follow it.
Oh, golden?
It's a golden brick road.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick
No,
road.
golden brick road.
Yes.
That
So
looks
as you guys
ominous.
come
I
around
don't
the
like
corner, oh yeah, that was just part of the map. Don't worry about it. It's just a bunch of
Okay.
fallen trees. It's just a bunch of fallen trees. That's all it is. So as you guys come around the corner,
Ominous.
at the end of that trail where you guys are at, you see the stag standing there.
Hi.
It notices you, and it books.
No. Fuck. I book it. I follow.
Following the leader.
So yeah, you can keep going because you saw the stag standing here, and it turned and it went around that corner at the end of that line. As you guys get around to the end there, you see it turn into this large clearing. It's still heavily canopied. The light is just filtering through, glittering, filtering through, almost golden, shining onto this clearing where this magnificent stag is glowing at the end. You see more of the ruins at this point. It almost looks like you can make out what could have been small dwellings and stuff like that in this clearing around it. The air is very fresh and sweet smelling.
Okay. Stevie's not gonna fully step into the clearing.
How many area did while she's flying?
So it's just staring at you.
Where is she?
Can
Where
I have
is
a
he?
perception check?
Yeah.
Then, oh, if you move forward a little bit, you'll see him.
Perception. That's a 12.
Again, the squares are made
22.
quite distant, so like Fleur is like 60 feet away from it, so it's not like you're not like right on top of it or anything. Okay,
Fleur,
so
Fleur.
which Tiny, you said you did a 22 perception?
22.
Okay. As you walk into this clearing, you hear a snap of a twig and what sounds like a drawstring or a bow being pulled coming from behind you guys.
Behind us?
Yes.
Stevie reacts and throws her hand axe.
Would it be safe to say you turn around first?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
turn around and like just
Yeah, so right at the clearing that seemed to be, right behind you guys, where you guys in, what the heck? Why did it not? Oh, there we go. They seem to have been following you slightly. You see two of the hunters from the caravan with bows standing in the just the open air clearing, aiming about to shoot at the stag.
yeah, no, I'm throwing my axe at them.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and say, since you heard it. And
Violence is violence.
Did you roll perception, or did Tiny, because Tiny didn't say anything. I just told her what she saw.
Oh, that was Tiny's. Never mind.
Did you roll
Alright.
perception or no? Okay.
I did roll a perception. What did I roll?
Tiny is, since Tiny sees, how many people are there?
2.
All right, so Tiny's going to do hold person. She's going to cast hold person on them.
Whole person, I think you can only do on one target, right?
No. Once
At
you get
higher
higher,
level,
Not if you cast it
you
at a
can
higher
add
level.
targets.
yeah, higher
Oh,
level,
okay.
you can do it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I can do both.
Gotcha.
At second level, it's only
Oh.
one person. At third level, it's 2.
Okay, so I'm at second, so I'm going to hold 1.
Okay. And then he needs to do a
Can I-
wisdom saving throw.
Can I try to? Oh wait, I don't know. Never mind.
All right, so the one of the guards failed his wisdom throw, so he's held. Did you say anything when you saw them, Tiny, or did you just turn around and cast a spell?
Well, when I turned around, I said hold, so I'm assuming my people or
Well-
whoever's by me is...
Sure. I'll say with what's going on and how tense the situation is that you guys all notice Tiny spin around and cast this spell. And I believe it's oh yeah, the spell hold is verbal, it's somatic and everything, so you guys noticed her doing all this. So your attention does turn around to see the one guard being held and the other guard still pointing his bow at the stag about to loose his arrow.
I'm gonna charge to be like in front of the shiny stag. So if they shoot me instead.
Anyone else? Y'all have a chance.
If I have a chance, the other one that isn't held, I'm just gonna look and be like, I don't suggest that. I suggest holding on to that. And I want to cast Suggestion.
Okay.
So that's a Wisdom save of 14. Okay, so he's just basically holding that until I tell him otherwise. Is my suggestion there?
Yeah. So he's
just not.
He's like frozen there, like literally, like your suggestion he took literally. He's just holding the phone, like his arms like shaking. He's not even like like.
I suggest you can release it a little bit, but just don't let go of the arrow.
He lets it go.
Well,
So he's just
the
staring
other
at you.
one is paralyzed in the hold position.
Yes.
Yeah, I used Suggestion. I didn't use
So
whole
he
person.
might be tight.
So you hear a melodious voice coming from the stag.
Melodious? What does that mean?
Melodious.
Is that evil or good?
It's sing-songy. It's very
Okay.
like a melody, melodious. It's very,
Peace.
you know, you get what I'm saying. Melodious, very, very sing-songy, very floating through the air kind of sound. The only one that understands it is Stevie, because I believe she's the only one to speak Sylvan. Correct. Fleur recognizes the accent but can't understand it. But you do know that it's
I hate
related
this.
to Elvish.
It's like when
Tiny,
you're in a
didn't you say
dream
you
and
spoke
people are,
Elvish too?
like,
Didn't you say you spoke
speaking?
Elvish too? No, you didn't. Okay. Which is weird because you're Fey. But anyway. But
Never
yeah.
learned her
So
own language.
you hear the stag say, Stevie, welcome and thank you.
What is it saying? Or
So I was gonna respond to that, but I forgot that Fleur is still a deer, so that's not gonna work. So I respond back, thank you. Sorry for the disruption. We just wanted to make sure you were safe.
Oh, I am fine. While I'm sure you all came here for me, that is not really why you are here. As the stag's speaking, the wind's kind of picking up just gently. You see the vegetation clearing, and you see that golden road be more prominent going across that clearing and going behind the stag into the trees behind the stag. And the stag says, you are on a path that unfortunately is be filled with hardship and blood. But there is another whose path has been this for many, many times and needs your help. All you have to do is continue to follow this path of gold until you reach the old city. And the trees behind the stag part and opens up a clearing, and that golden brick road still continues to go past the stag.
Okay, so definitely relaying all of that to everybody else.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. This is hella creepy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not fun here in the path that we're on is filled with strife and whatnot.
Can someone make the hunters go night, knock them out or something so they don't hurt the beautiful deer?
Well,
I have an idea. I
Make 'em
suggest
go
you drag
night-night.
your friend back home, and I'm gonna basically have the hunter start dragging his paralyzed friend back, and he'll do that for up to 24 hours on concentration.
Yeah. All right, so he does. He kind of grabs him, and his eyes are just kind of glossed over. He just like grabs him and he's like, let's go. And he starts dragging him back to the caravan.
If you've ever seen a deer shrug before, you now have. As deer Flora is just like, and starts walking forward.
Okay, so the stag kind of steps forward, and it You almost see it like bow its head, and how a deer, you would imagine a deer bowing, like one knee would go down and it would go like this as you guys pass through, and the sunlight seems to be
Tiny
brighter
wants to
as
pet
you
the
go.
deer. Tiny wants to pet the deer.
The deer doesn't shrug away from you. It allows you to
Tiny
pet it.
is going to hover on top of the deer and like start petting its head. And just cooing at it, just like, oh, you're so cute. I love you. I love you. You're adorable.
The deer just turned to Stevie as Stevie passes, and she's like, "You may have to take your friend with you."
And then so yeah, that might be best. In Sylvan, and then in Draconic, because apparently Stevie's the translator here. In Draconic to Tiny, sweetie, the stag wants to leave now, so maybe we should
But
stop.
so
petting.
soft, so soft.
I know,
so soft,
I know.
and beautiful, and gold, and shiny.
I know,
and
so pretty.
I just love it. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. I love it.
I
And
know,
she's
I
just so
know.
excitedly
And then
petting this deer.
Stevie, as she has been doing, Druid crafts another flower to distract Tiny.
Absolutely not. This is a golden deer. She is just awestruck and just
All right.
petting it.
So then Stevie's gonna
She's so loving it.
grab Tiny's leg and kind of like gently pull her away so the stag can make its exit.
Tiny doesn't throw a fit. She just waves and just
As you
lets her
start to
be
pull
dragged
Tiny
backwards.
off, the stag dusts into gold particles and just floats. And it seems to almost follow the path, and it just dusts and golds into the wind.
Okay. Tiny follows the golden dust.
We will let go to let Tiny follow like a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay,
at this
so you
point,
guys-
seeing the stag disappear, there's gonna be a sad deer look, and I'm gonna poof back into a human.
So
just
as
don't
you
care.
go into that, it opens up, and it almost seems like you're no longer in a forest. Like you can't even tell the transition. You were in a forest. You walk. You follow this path, and then suddenly it gets bright, and you see trees, but you seem to be like
What?
in a ruined city. And there's a bunch of ruined structures and stuff all over the place. And it doesn't look ruined like it was like. It looks more destroyed by age.
Right, just abandoned.
So old as shit,
Right.
not destroyed as shit.
Right. It's not like it was there and then someone destroyed it yesterday or something. It's like
Gotcha.
it's not nozzle.
Hey guys, this place is old magic, I think.
I would appreciate a pee break at this point.
Yeah. That's fine. I was gonna get something to drink anyway. So let's take an intermission, an actual intermission, and then we will be back right after this.
world of
And we're
Deer.
back.
Somewhat.
We are.
You look like
Halfway
such a
back.
douche when you do that. Oh my god.
Because I am a douche.
A
halfway
peacock
back.
Mal
douche,
is.
we got it.
Let's be fair. Mal is a douche, so I mean.
Yeah, literally the whole character concept. Yeah, how big of a douchebag can I make with a bard?
All right, so yeah, as you guys approach in this ruins of an ancient city, it's very quiet. You can barely hear the wind. You can't see the. It seems like the whole area is in the distance. Instead of seeing the horizon or whatever, it's just trees. So it's almost like as if the forest is surrounding it, but it's pushed far back, and the city's in the middle of it, but it's just surrounded by the forest, not visible to anything outside of it.
Hmm.
But the trees are are like distant.
Hey guys, that deer talked, and this is really creepy. What are we doing?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't even know where
Honestly,
we are.
I
at
just
this
get
point.
good vibes from this situation.
Are there any more Is there any more gold glitter
Just
everywhere?
that golden road, which seems to be a little sparkly, but that's all you notice. And the ruins of these various buildings. And by ruins, they're not like some of them still have roofs. You can still enter some of them, but you'd have to go inside to see what's inside of them, kind of stuff.
This road is made of gold, right?
Well, it's not literal gold.
Dang it.
Golden.
Okay, never mind. Never mind.
Is that
No,
a fountain?
Sweetie,
well.
you can't steal the road.
You can steal a lot of things, and I have.
Is further up? Is that a fountain or a well?
It's a well.
I'm gonna go up to the well.
Oh well.
Okay. So Fleur goes up to the well. You look inside of it. It's barren. There's like no water inside of it. You see a ragged
there-
bucket just kind of creaking, just swinging inside there, kind of rotting away.
Are there coins?
No, it's like a water well. Like it goes down like 20 feet.
I don't know what their culture was. They could have made wishing well wishes.
I mean, if there are coins, you probably can't see them. It's dark. you can't see all the way to the bottom. Well, if you have dark vision, you might be able to make out something. But no,
think I do
it
have
just
dark
looks like it just looks like a water drawing well that's gone dry.
Unfortunate. But understandable.
Mal's just clung to Thanic the entire time, like, I am not going far from you today. Whenever he gets back, but still.
Can I get a perception check from everyone?
Yes.
That's a 21.
Ah. It's another
19.
8.
What's yours
Keep rolling
passive?
5s.
Well, baby, passive. It's people make that mistake all the time. It's not like you want to choose either or. Passive is actually best used in a manner of like for me to realize. Like it's like I see your guys' passives, and if there's something that I think you guys would notice without having to do a check, I would go by your passive. So I would say, oh, you noticed this, you noticed that, based on your passive. If it's something that requires more like scrutiny, then you would roll for it. So just because if you roll lower than your passive, that doesn't necessarily mean your passive's better and you go with your passive.
Okay.
I got a 4.
Better. Hey, I wasn't the worst one this time.
Mal's
Okay.
usually
So
the
as
worst.
everyone's kind of distracted by everything, Mal's just gripping on to Thanic. Tiny's just flittering around everywhere looking at things. Fleur is obsessed with this empty well. Stevie, you hear just a low kind of moan coming from the large building ruin that I'm highlighting on the map right there.
No. And I'm closest to that, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
And
I
it doesn't.
kinda
It's not
felt
like a. It's not like a spooky or eerie moan.
Is it like an injured
It's
moan?
kind of forlorn.
Forlorn. So I kind of go and like peek in there.
What
So
do
you
you
look in.
see?
It's mostly
I heard
destroyed.
something.
It looks like a part of a castle. At one point, all the furniture and trappings long destroyed or torn or broken to pieces. Very dusty. You do see the sunlight filtering through various cracks and what would have been windows in there. And in the corner, you see a thin person. Kind of resembles a wood elf, and his skin is bright gold. It's looks like a young male, and he's naked, and he seems to have delicate antlers growing from his head.
So I walk in, kind of like.
Got it. He's kind of like laying on the floor, and his like arm and his head are like on top of some kind of broken furniture or broken structure like this, just laying like this.
Yeah, so I walk in, like, paying attention to like everything that's happening, like all of the surroundings, looking for if there's any traps around. Sweetie, what's happening? What? Why are you out here so far in the woods by yourself?
His eyes go wide. He looks. Does anyone else following Stevie, by the way, or are you all? Flores.
I'm
Tiny,
directly behind Stevie.
And that would have been since all of the text seems to be in Sylvan. Stevie would have said that in Sylvan.
Tiny
So,
still
Mel, are you
outside
following
looking for the
Stevie in?
gold.
Mal's holding up the rear. Because I assume Thanic's going to be going right in front. Yeah, Mal will go in.
Okay. I would say he's just like right over here at the back, but within earshot of everything. And his eyes growing wide, and he looks up at Stevie, and he starts to stand, and then he falls, and he walks towards you, and he kind of falls on his knees, and his hands are kind of clasped together, and he starts to speak. It's not Sylvan, but it's a dialect of Elvish, and it seems archaic, but it's understandable.
Not to Stevie.
Right.
Finally,
You
I
speak
understand
Elvish.
something. I speak Elvish. I'm useful. I'm gonna
So-
step up, being like, I know this language.
As he starts to speak, he's like, "Oh, it has been so long. Thank you. I was once an elven prince, and the stones you see around me were once the beautiful castle where I ruled. But I was cursed by the father of the woman that I fell in love with, and transformed into that golden stag. Whenever I step outside these walls, I've lived with this curse for so long that my kingdom is forgotten. My castle has fallen to ruin. I no longer even remember my own name. I believe there's a wizard somewhere that can release me from this curse. But wherever I go, people try to kill me for the golden coat."
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. I just wanted to be your friend. I was pretty worried about you. Do you need, like, healing, by the way? Are you, like, good?
No healing. I just need this curse taken from me. If I could somehow travel with you, and perhaps maybe if you could find a wizard for me that could help release me from this curse, I would be forever in your debt.
Do you know what his name is? What he looked like? Details?
It's not a specific wizard. There just has to be someone. Wizards are very learned. Maybe someone out there will know what to do.
If only we had D here with us.
And I turned back in common. I turned back in common because I have translated none of this yet. And I go, do we know a wizard?
Well, D was a wizard, but I think that might be a little difficult to get him because he may have been incarcerated.
I'm innocent!
Ah!
I mean, some would call me a wizard of sorts.
No. I turned back to
No,
does it have to be like
that-
wizard or someone who like knows magic?
Mal makes a
Saying-
small minor illusion of a sad face emoji.
Saying in Elvish to the elf, like wizard, or just someone that knows magic.
And you see him kind of nodding as he's looking around, and he tries to speak common, but it's very stuttered. Like he only knows few words. Kind of a pidgin kind of common. And, you know, he's like, "Help, find wizard." But
So wizard.
only stag outside here.
Can you like do things as a stag, or are you just like glittery?
He shakes his head.
Hmm.
Well, if you want to,
I mean, I feel like a wizard wouldn't be hard to find.
yeah, if he wants to travel with us until we can find a wizard to release him from this whole stag situation going on.
She shakes his head very happily, very happily.
and we-
Smiles.
You seem real cool. Think about it though. How are we going to keep the golden stag from being murdered?
And he
Well,
looks at
we
you
have
and
a
he's like,
panic.
"You saved me just now. You protected me from the other hunters. How hard could it be to protect me?"
We're in like a giant group of people, and those were like 2 out of like the thousands of them. And so like I'm a little worried about like hiding you from thousands of people.
Well, we have a Thanic. And
Danik is standing in a doorway and he goes, "You do."
And
wait.
I'm not.
Are you
so,
like corporeal?
If once I leave this area, I'm a stag. That is the curse.
Yeah. Is the stag like corporeal though? Can I like put things on you, or is my hand
Oh,
gonna
yes.
phase through?
No,
Oh, we can
I'm
cover
a
you in a
solid stag.
blanket.
I'm just very
we
magnificent.
still
is the
still
words
have
that's
that
been used.
scarf. Do we still have that scarf that we were going to use to hide Cassian's face?
We absolutely still have that scarf.
So
In
we-
fact,
I believe this is when Thanik would say, "Well, Mel and I are at the rear of the caravan. I feel if we are to take this stag person with us, he would be safest in the back with us."
Well, yeah.
so true.
Yeah, absolutely. But we still should.
Can you hold things and like the things you're wearing now go onto the stag, or do I have to wait to put something on you when you're the stag?
He mentions that he is naked, so he has nothing on him to
That
carry.
wasn't the question.
Mal is eyeing it up right now.
If I put something on you, is it gonna stay there when you turn to a stag, or I have to wait until you turn
Yes.
turn into a
When
stag? Okay.
Again, he's speaking in Elvish now. He's not speaking in Common. He's only Fleur understands. He's like, yes. When I turn into the stag, I am a solid, as if I'm a real stag. The only thing different about me is I'm very magnificent, and people want to kill me.
But
because
like
I'm
if
so
I
beautiful.
put a robe on you right now, is the stag also gonna have that robe on, or do I have to wait to put the robe on you?
No. I mean, it might fall off. I think there's a dusting effect that happens when I turn into the stag. I kind of disappear and then reappear as a stag once I leave here. But that's here. Once I leave here, I'm the stag the rest of the way, no matter where we go.
I'll wait till you're a stag.
And by here, he gestures, he means this ruined city. Like, if you go back out to where you guys were at before, where the stag disappeared, once you get out there, at the end of this road, he turned back into a stag again.
Oh, did you? Okay, wait. So if you only turn into a stag when you leave, how did your people forget you if you never left?
He goes, that's it. I've been here for so long, I've forgotten everything. I don't even remember my own name. I've just been here in misery.
Carl? You like the name Carl?
I've never heard this name before. It sounds odd.
Dave?
I mean, Steven the Stag has a roll off the tongue effect, but
Oh, but we already have.
I don't want a Steven as Stevie. That's disgusting.
No, but we already have a Steven who is the head of the security for the caravan.
Do you like Dave?
What about Maximilian?
Can we pronounce it a little bit different? Can we pronounce it Dav?
Yeah, Dov. Sure.
And then Dobby's behind you. He's like, this sounds too much like Dobby!
Oh, shit, he's right. Okay, no, we gotta do something different.
Maximilian?
Lucas?
Lucas is fine.
Woo!
Lucas is fine.
Get fucked,
Lucas.
Stevie.
Lucas is fine. So, you guys want to take him with you then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give him 10 minutes.
When
So you guys lead him out to Towns Path, back into the forest. As soon as you enter the end of the road back into the forest again, it transitions again to where you are now in the forest again, and you see him disappear for a moment, dusk, and then the ghost particles reform again into the same stag you saw, and he walks beside you through the forest, and you follow the way back out.
Once he's
And
a
you are
stag
once
again, the second he's a stag, I'm gonna take off my nature's mantle and tie it onto him.
Okay.
He's gonna ride him.
A bit more hidden.
He's gonna ride him.
Yeah, sure, he lets you. He doesn't object to it. You're small, and you guys exit the forest here. And at this point, I would say it's it's early afternoon. You guys have been in there for a few hours doing all this, so it's probably about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. And you guys start to make your way back towards the parked caravan with the stag, and lots of people are looking at you guys now.
Stevie just
The
kind
stag
of
has a cloak on.
The antlers are pretty big.
We also put the scarf on him.
on the antler.
He also has 4 legs.
Okay, I had 4 legs earlier too, and no one was looking
You don't
at me.
understand. Did you watch the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, Sophie? You didn't? Okay. So there's one scene in one episode that I could not get over. I can't tell you this part.
Don't spoil it.
Okay, this is not spoiling. Someone was hiding someone under their coat, and the someone was much smaller, and you could literally see 4 legs, and they were walking by lots of people, and I'm like, how is no one noticing this?
I'm
This
pretty
is
sure that's
what I'm
episode 1
sensing.
too. I'm pretty sure that's
This is
episode 1 or
simply
2.
just Tiny's golden horse. This is normal, guys.
No, and Stevie, and I imagine Thanik as well, is just glaring at everybody, like daring them to say anything.
There are a few that are grabbing their bows and to kind of step forward,
And
and
I'm
they
like,
see Danik, they
this
start
is-
to step back a little bit. But I will say, maybe a few. Chonky die time. Okay, maybe about 20% of them are fooled by the cloak. The other 80% obviously know there is a giant stag under his cloak.
That's 20% though.
That's better than I thought we'd do.
The dice, I was like disappointed by that, but it's okay.
We're slowly turning into an orphanage. We got Dobby, now we got a stag.
And you guys adopted me.
Yep.
Tiny.
Technically, we were also adopted, Mal.
Yeah, Mal and Thanik, the only originals.
No, you've been adopted too, sweetie.
We don't have to talk about my childhood.
That's a step up from "You're not my real mom." Anyway.
You're not my real mom.
But I think you did you mean that you guys are the only 2 from the very first episode?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. That's what I figured. Yeah, they are the OG for the
That's
very first.
weird. I was talking about the thing where Stevie and Thanik are like the mom and dad,
Yeah.
and like have adopted.
That
these
is also what I was
children.
referencing.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys make it back to the caravan. You have this deer, and I will say after this, you guys leveled up.
So you can do a level up.
Hey, level up!
Woo!
To level 5.
We do that?
That's
yeah,
a thing
yeah.
that
This
happens?
is, I mean, it's supposed to be once a chapter with Hoard Dragon Queen, but this is a very long chapter. So I just may fudge some of the levels here and there. But I think I'll give you guys level 5 at this point here. It might be a while though before you do level 6. Just keep that in mind.
So, question for you then. This is up
Yeah.
to you. Because level 5, I get bard spells and that kind of stuff. I can also swap one spell. One spell that I'd like to swap. I didn't have access to this before, but I bought Strixhaven, so I don't know if this works with you or not. There's a spell called.
Yeah, I'm pretty loosey with that. At this stage of the game, yeah, if it's just a spell that you want to swap out, go ahead. Like once we get the Rise of Tiamat, if you want to change spells from early on, I'd be like, well, come on now. but at this point,
No, I was
yeah,
gonna say bards get one spell swap per level too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If
I was
it's,
making
if
sure
it's
it's okay if
from
I use
any of the
separate
authorized books, it's a spell. Yeah, I don't care if it's Strixhaven. It's fine.
Cool.
What's the
That's all I was
spell?
gonna
Just so I know.
Silvery Barbs. I can only
I
do
mean,
one
listen,
thing as a bard.
It's an official spell, so it's not like, I mean.
It's not
I-
homebrew or shit like that.
Yeah.
I cause so much chaos with silvery barbs. I love it.
And since
love
Stanek
silvery
is busy with the baby and he had the other things going on tonight, I think we'll just end this one early.
Extra
And,
levels, third level spells.
Yeah. And then we can pick this up next week with Stanek, and who knows, maybe we'll be on Foundry next week. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so if anyone has any free time this weekend and just want to hop on just to play with it, to just figure it out, to see it, doesn't have to be anything long.
I'll probably hop on myself to play with it. But I don't think I'll have time to like hop on like with anybody else. I'll play with it myself, but I think I'm relatively busy this weekend.
And
I get remove curse.
okay.
Will that remove
It's not,
the curse from the
you
DM?
can't. No. Remove curse doesn't
simplest
remove
fix.
any curse. Just like you remove curse and remove Coda's curse, babe.
No, I did
Third
with the
level
help
spells are
of
cracked.
the
Oh
goddess
no! It
and-
helped you. It helped you delay it and learn about it. You still have to kill Naraku to get the to lift the curse completely, because that's the only way to remove the curse is by killing the person who created it.
Anyone else have aid?
Yeah, I do.
What is
You do?
it?
Okay.
I have aid. And that's what I'm going to be doing, a lot of things like that. Using my shield, aid.
I'm gonna prepare Call Lightning for now, but it'll change.
Oh, third level bard spells, more bullshit to mess with.
I finally got Summon Fae.
What could possibly go wrong? Oh, someone's home.
Ding dong.
I
Well, we're gonna
literally
end the
heard a
stream here
doorbell.
anyway. So
Yeah.
thank you guys
I'm
for
just
joining us.
looking at
Until next
Phil.
time. So say well.